All right, in 12.2, we have what they call measures of central tendency. So in the last section, we saw that one of the things we'd like to know from data is, hey, what do you look like? Are you packed up front? Are you packed in the middle? Are you packed at the end like we saw in that number 9 example that we did in the last section? And so in 12.2, the main concept is finding a measurement, right? What we typically do with data is we tell you, hey, here's the average. Well, the average, or what they call the mean, is a measure of center or measure of central tendency. And so there's 3 measures of central tendency that they'll focus on: the mean, the median, and the mode. So let's define some of these. The mean is the average of the data. The median is the value right in the middle of the data. And the mode is the value, or sometimes values, that occur most often. So what I did is I typed up some numbers up there. 20, I'm up there meaning right underneath the section 12.2 header. That's a list of data, and we're going to find the mean, median, mode, and that will give us an example of the work that's in this section. And so if we're going to go find the mean first, well, the mean is the average, so what we do is we take the 20, add the 27, add the 42, add the 45, add the 53, add the 62, add the 62, and add the 64. And then we're going to divide that by the total number of data values that we added. So in this case, we added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of data. So we are going to take and going to get rid of those top numbers. So we have 8 individual pieces of data. So the way you find the mean is you add them up and you divide by 8. So the mean for ours is going to be, and I'll do that now, I haven't pre-done that, and let's do that together then. Take 20 plus 27 plus 42 plus 45 plus 53 plus 62 plus 62 plus 64. Hit equals. I got 375, and we're going to divide that by 8. And I got 46.875. So 46.875 is what we get out of that. And I'm looking to see if they ask us to round a certain way. And they don't. They do show us what the symbol is. X bar is a symbol for the mean, and they're saying what you do is you add up the data and divide by n. So if you've never been exposed to it before, this Greek letter sigma means to add up. So we're going to add that up, and these formulas are found in the book, right? You have a copy of the e-text on it, and so that's what we have, 46.875 as our mean. If we go to find the median is the value right in the middle. Now, in order to find the median, the first step is to arrange the data from high to low. And that was already done for us. I'll just recopy the data set right down here. It was 20, 27, 42, 45, 53, 62, 62, and 64. So if you notice already, it's arranged from low of 20 to a high of 64. If it wasn't, I would have to rearrange it to be that way, where everything was in numerical order. And so if I look at this, I want to get the value right in the middle. So if I go through, one quick way to do it is to cross out 1 for 1. And sometimes when you do, you're left with the standing value in the middle. That's your mean. That'll be when you have an odd number of data points. If you cross out, so for example, if I had the data set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I do this cross out technique, I'm left with the 3. That 3 is my median. 3 doesn't have anybody else to cancel out with. That 3 is the value right in the middle, with 2 data values to the left and 2 data values to the right. However, I chose this one specifically because it has an even amount of data. Whenever it has an even amount of data, we got a little bit of extra work. We got to go right in the middle of those two. That way I have a balance. So how do I go right in the middle? I average them. I take the 45 and the 53, add them up and divide by 2. And if I do that, I get the number 49. So 49 is our mean. So 49 would be a number that's right in the middle of these two, and it has 4 of the data points to one side and 4 of the data points to the other side. So 49 is our median for that problem. And you'll get lots of practice with this, but don't hesitate to ask. The mode is the value that occurs most often. So I'm just going to rewrite those 8 data points. So the mode is the value that occurs most often. And so as you look through there, it's pretty easy to see that only one value is repeated, the 62. So the mode is flat out equal to 62. There's no other choice. So that's it. That's all there is to getting the mode. It is a quick little identification piece. And it's used in order to tell whether something's normally distributed or not. But the mode is 62 in this problem. So if I made up another set of data, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, this one would have no mode. If that was my only data set, or those were my data points and that was it, there's no mode because no value is repeated. So in order to have a mode, a value needs to be repeated, and then you're looking for the one that gets repeated most often. So if I had something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, then I would have a mode of 5. Just like I had a mode of 62 in the 1, 2 above. If it happened to be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, then I would have modes 1 and 5 would be my mode. Would be that mode right there. If I were to throw on a third 5, then I would no longer name 1 as the mode because it doesn't occur most often. So I'm not just listing repeated values, I'm listing values that are repeated most often. If they tie, I got to write them all down. Well, I got to write all those that tied down. Let me state that. If there's no repeats, I write no mode. And if there's only one that has the most amount, right, then that is our mode. So that's a quick example of finding mean, median, modes of a set of data. Okay, and so that's our main focus in this section 12.2. I think the homework will go well, but be in contact with me. If it doesn't, we have our Zoom sessions, but you can also send me emails and say, hey, I'm struggling with this particular concept or problem. So thank you so much.